Hi, welcome to A Better Life Australia. My name is Renee and I thought today I would invite you all to hatch some brine shrimp with me. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so brine shrimp, honestly, once you've got it and you've got it down pat, it is one of the best, most handy foods you will have in your fish room when it comes to live foods. I have a little cupboard in my fish room dedicated just to my brine shrimp equipment. I don't know why I've done that, but it's just, it works. It keeps it in one space for me. I don't know. I just weirdly have this one little cupboard for it. So, I'll be honest, I originally could not get brine shrimp to hatch. I tried everything. I was using your homemade Coke bottle hatchery. I tried different brands. I could not get it to work and it was just devastating me. I was using aquarium salt and then just a cheap supermarket dechlorinator because we don't use dechlorinators in our house for our fish because we use tank water. So I just used just a cheap, let's go with home brand, but it wasn't, it was whatever the supermarket brand dechlorinator was, and I was using aquarium salt. Could not get the darn things to hatch. I was disheartened and my husband was Googled for me and he was like, let's try this. This is what has been working for me now for months, without fail, time after time, every day, and I'll show you my hatcheries in a minute. I don't change it. I don't even accurately measure. It just works. And so I don't argue, I just go with it. So this is a small tub of a 20 kilo tub of just Bunnings pool salt. It's not going to focus on me, but so just your Bunnings pool salt. I have a big 20 kilo tub that I also purchased from Bunnings, and I put the 20 kilo bag into it. It lives out in our garage, nicely sealed, and I have this smaller tub that I use from. I only now use Brine as my dechlorinator, and I am using the Aqua Neutral brine shrimp eggs. I was using Ocean Nutrition, and I will admit, how I originally got things to work was the pre-salted brine shrimp eggs that come in the box, and also that, and I'll put a picture up when I edit, also that brand of just plain eggs I could hatch. My issue with that brand is that I am a klutz and I would constantly knock the box over and I would end up with brine shrimp eggs everywhere. This comes in a nice jar and I don't mess it up. I don't knock it over. It's, yeah. And they hatch for me, and so I just keep sticking with it. It's my go-to. So that is what I use. And now I will take you over and I will show you my hatcheries and I'll show you what I've got, and we'll do a quick little, and I mean it's super quick to set up brine shrimp for each day. So I'll take you over and I'll show you what I do. Okay, so usually each day I don't take everything out of the cupboard to do so. My cupboard is just there, and my brine shrimp hatcheries just hang on here. Usually I have the 2 set up. So when I was struggling with getting them to hatch, my husband invested in the Zis extra large hatcheries with the tall stand. They were great, and I did have them stored there on my fish room rack. However, I decided, as we all kind of do, that was a waste of space. I can fit in 2 more tanks and have 2 beautiful species of bedders in there if I then hang my hatchery on my steel framing. So of course we now hang our hatcheries on here, merely because I wanted to add some more fish. Nothing wrong with the stand, it works well. It's, you know, handy to be able to just get to the tap, etc. I do still use my stands when I'm harvesting from them, so my stand just lives on my desk here for me to harvest from. But when they are actually turning, let's go with turning, they stay on my stand. So I don't measure, like I said, I just go with what I've got. So I know that's not a huge help for people who like pristine measurements. However, on the Zis hatchery, I go just that far above. I mainly feed my brine shrimp only to my fry and to my husband's pygmy cories. So I don't hatch a huge amount. Of course, your measurements will change depending on how much water you're putting in, but I only do this smaller amount. I just then take my aquarium salt, which, excuse whatever yuckies has got in there. I just take my tablespoon. Again, I don't even use a proper measuring spoon. I just take that tablespoon, I dump that in, just like that. I take my prime, I just give it a little bit of a splash, not a huge amount, I just go a bit of a dash in there, just like that. And then I don't even set that up and pre-mix it. I just pop my eggs straight in, which of course now we're going to have an issue because I am one-handed due to my no tripod at the moment, and I can't get my eggs open. And we don't want to now go back and go and spill them everywhere after I've said about not spilling them. So just wait and I will be back. Okay, with the magic of filming, the jar is now open, and I just take that and I just do a little dash in there. That was probably a bit of a heavy-handed dash for me, but that's because I'm looking through the camera, but that is okay. They will not go to waste. I will just feed them to some of my adults, to our community tank. They'll just, yeah, they'll get used. So, just trying to do my lid up a little bit there. So I now take this, and usually it also wouldn't be on this stand. Usually it would be over on this area that I use. And so we now just take our hatchery. Sorry, 2 seconds. One thing I do is I do rotate them. So once I take one off, and usually this would have been done this morning, however, I knew I was going to be filming and I wanted to wait until the children had gone to school, so I didn't switch them over just yet. So I always switch, so I know the one first on my rack is the one I am using when I go to feed. I take that one. So now that we've got our space back, we will pop, oh, sorry, again, one-handed, I'm so sorry. Pop our hatchery on. They sit very nicely. Now these lids come with the space for a heater, the space for you to put your air line and your solid air tube, and then a thermometer. I don't go to that extreme. I don't use the thermometer. I don't use the heater. My fish room is centrally heated, so I don't use heaters in my tanks. Sometimes I use them in my breeding setups, but on average I don't use heaters. I just go with the room temperature. Oh, somebody's being a bit cute there, little Miss Hellboy. So I don't use the heater section. I found when I attached the solid air line, it wasn't going down into where I wanted it to go. So you want it to go down into the middle there. When I had it placed here, it was kind of just sitting on the edge, as they do sometimes, even with how I use them now. However, I'm in my fish room, and that's because it's also hooked up. I'm in my fish room. If I'm not sleeping, let's take out sleeping out of the equation. I'm in my fish room a good 80% of my day. It's my office. I'm in and out. I love being in here. I love being with my fish. So I just fix them up. Every time I see them, if they've moved, I fix them up. I mean, everything has its purpose there. Use it if you want, but this is, and also I should say that disclaimer too, that this is my way of doing it, not everybody's way of doing it. Everybody has their own method, but this is my way of doing it, and I just use it that way. I just find it works easier for me. The same as I should say that I'm not affiliated in any way with this brand. It's just the brand that I use, and I wanted to share my love of the brand. And so I just wanted to take a moment and kind of share that with everybody, but please don't feel like I'm affiliated in any way. I'm not. But yeah, that's it for the setting up. Now we'll go through the actual draining and feeding of the brine shrimp. Okay, now's the fun part, the feeding. Now, I didn't record this whole feeding process this morning because my children were back to school. Here it's a Monday morning. Back to school after a long weekend. They were antsy, they were noisy. I was not going to be filming this while they were here. So, we're just gonna walk through the motions with some, let's call it brine shrimp juice that I've already got. And I'll basically show you, but it won't be the actual draining process. So this is the jug that I've just mixed up. So I'm just using this one just because I don't want to disturb my one that is twirling quite nicely. So I take it, I sit it here. Some people do the whole let it sit and then do the light and then drain. I don't. I use it twice a day. So what I do, and I want to get it re-rolling for the next day. So what I do is I do let it sit for a couple of minutes. To be honest, more because I get it off when I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I want to have a coffee. I'm coffee addicted. So I put it, I sit it, I go and make my coffee, I have my coffee. By the time I'm finished my coffee, I've played my games on my phone, my fish tank lights have come on. I come over, I have this little container, as you can see, and I'm just going to duck down because it might make it a bit easier for me to film. This is the container I use for draining. So I get about half of it into this container. So I just, I'll go from here so I'm not blocking it. I just open this up, kind of slowish, it drains through. And I fill up about half of this. Now this is my nighttime feed. So what I'm going to be draining right now is what I feed of an afternoon, which is what I'm doing right now before I go and pick up my kids from school. So that's half of the mixture from this morning. The other half, while it's draining, I grab one of my bowls, and these are the Zis strainers. So this is the 220, and then I also have the 100, if that will focus for me. No, it's not. There we go, the 100. So you start with your 220. If you're doing it this method, you start with your 220. Once I've got halfway here, I usually then just grab my brine shrimp jug and I just hold it over for the last of it, for the other half. It's on my tray. It doesn't matter if it splashes a little bit. I just move it over and I drain into here. What I'm going to do for this demonstration purpose is I'm going to strain this half. Okay, so now we're ready to siphon through our brine shrimp. So we've got our 220. So we're just going to take our brine shrimp gold and we're just going to tip that in. Now this that we're tipping in is the unhatched eggs, the brine shrimp, the hatched eggs, all of it. That's all in together. Now as I lift up this sieve, oh my gosh, I can't even speak. All right, as we lift this up, this is taking away the unhatched eggs and the husks, the eggshells, all the bits we don't want. So we're going to pop that to the side. So that then gets rinsed, cleaned. We're done with that one. So this now has our salt water and our brine shrimp. So now we're wanting to take our 100 and we're wanting to tip that through into this bowl. Like so. Perfect. Popping that back down. And now as we lift this up, you can see there all that beautiful brine shrimp. So that is what we want. That in the bottom of there is what we're feeding. So I'm going to pop that now over to here. This is the salt water. We do not want that. Discard that. Now we're going to take this bowl and now I'm going to take you into my kitchen because that's where I do the next step. Okay, so now this step, we're in my kitchen. In my kitchen I have this drink dispenser. Now this drink dispenser has in it tank water. Only ever used for tank water. This is what I use for making my fish foods. Sometimes if I just need a really quick top up, anything like that, I always have this sitting on my bench. Everyone knows not to touch it. It's my fish water. So we've got our bowl and our brine shrimp and our fish water. If you don't have a funny little system like this, you of course would use some tank water or some dechlorinated water. I now tip over my sieve like that, so I've got it. It can be slightly angled, that's fine. For this certain process I take off my lid. I use my turkey baster to suck up some of my water. And then I just use that to just go over my sieve and get all the brine shrimp to come down. And that is now washing down into that bowl, ready to be fed. Usually takes me about 3 of my basters. When I'm not filming, of course, I'm a bit more deliberate on where I'm actually rinsing them through. And then we just give that a little shake, make sure we've got all that off, pop it to the side, and now we have our brine shrimp ready to go, ready to feed. Look at them swimming around, having a great time. Okay, I'm going to pop my lid back on my tank water there, and let's go feed some fish. Now, as I mentioned, I always give my, oh look at my reflection there, oh my gosh, I always give my husband's little pygmy cories some. So I'll just tip some in for them. He'll go mad at me because he'll be able to see in the video that I haven't turned off his filtration system, and he'll be going, saying, they've got to chase them. But anyway, for the point of this video, we're just going to quickly do that. They love them, absolutely love them. And now we're going to head my currently largest spawn, swimming around there, and we're just going to tip some into there for them. And they also absolutely love them. And so they will have a nice little feed now. And that's it. It's super simple. I know I've kind of spaced it out because I've been chatting and telling you all about, you know, this and that and whatnot. I'm probably boring you crazy. But if you're just doing the steps, it's so quick. It's so simple. They love it. It's so nutritious. And yeah, you just can't go wrong. So don't be disheartened. If you're struggling to get them to hatch, keep trying. Try different methods. If my method doesn't work, have a look on YouTube. There's so many other methods out there. Try different brands. Just try and find what works for you and your water and your system. And yeah, really, you cannot go wrong. So yeah, that's my way of doing brine shrimp. So I hope I really haven't completely bored you, and I'm sorry if I have. But please, if you did enjoy this video and you'd like to see more videos from me, hit the like button, comment below on your method of hatching brine shrimp, subscribe so that you know when I release more videos, and yeah, just make me feel the love so that I know to keep making videos. Other than that, yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you have lots of luck hatching your brine shrimp.